Welcome back to another episode of the No Money Real Estate Podcast. And I'm really excited today because we're going to spend time telling you exactly what you should do to make the most money in real estate investing in 2026. And on the show today, I have a dear friend of mine. His name is Navtash Chandu, and we're going to get into these incredible strategies. We're going to be talking about foreclosures. We're going to be talking about money the government wants to get away, and we're going to get into it right after this. Hey, my name's Ken, and I'm a real estate investor. I want to welcome you to the No Money Real Estate Podcast. On this show, I'm going to interview elite level real estate investors from all over North America, and I'm going to help you to see one thing that all successful real estate investors have in common. They built their portfolios without using a dime of their own money. I've got a portfolio of $300 million in real estate. That includes resorts, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, and I've built the entire portfolio without using a dime of my own money. Real estate is a business that anybody can get into, but the strategies that those tight real estate investors use to build massive portfolios have been kept secret for decades. Now, because of this show, I'm going to reveal them to you. So let's get started. Welcome back, brother. Good to see you again. Happy 2026 to you.
Likewise, Steve.
So listen, the real estate game has changed completely. You know, it's totally different now than what we've been seeing for the last couple of years. I know you've been in the studio with me before, but start off a little bit. Tell everybody about yourself, how you got into real estate, why you decided to start sharing this information, people, and then let's talk about what they can win with this year.
Well, the whole thing started in 83 when interest rates were approximately 20%. I helped saving a family right here in Pickering Town Center, and fortunately ended up making a lot of money for myself. I have no idea what the real estate is all about. Absolutely, totally agree. No idea what power sale is, how the banks work, why we live in a capital society when everything's for a mighty dollar.
Yeah.
You can pay the bills, you got to keep the car, you got to keep the house. But you don't, there's an alternative. They kick you out quickly. So I started teaching in 1993 across Canada. I've been teaching for about 29 different cities. I got opportunity to teach in UFT. Even RCMP have commented on my post, written about in the Globe and Mail and Toronto Star. Recently, there was an article written about me in the Toronto Star. Here is a scenario. A gentleman living here, right here in Oshawa, Ontario, came back from work and noticed his house has been sealed, taken away by the bank.
Wow.
Now, he walked to the Tim Horton, got a $5, and he's figuring out where I'm going to go and sleep tonight. Bank of Montreal have taken over the house, and he called me in. Navtash, yes, I heard your name. I'm out of the house. So don't worry. I sent a friend of mine, paid him $5, kept him. We got the house back, got his life in order, and paid him more money than what he was expecting. Make sure his credit is good. And we end up flipping the house, and making about $100,000 profit. Did I help this gentleman or did I help myself?
Yeah, some people would accuse you of taking advantage of it, right?
Of course. And the option B is, if I didn't help him, what would he get? End up in the street homeless. And the other hand, here I am, everything black and white. It's not everything handed out to you, but understand the knowledge, information, the timing, everything works. 2021, 2022, interest rates are super low. 1.3 million homeowners are facing the dilemma. Their mortgage payment is going to go up quite a bit. What, $600 a month? A lot of you can't afford it. They have to downsize. The values are down in Ontario on BC. So what does that mean? It creates opportunity for investors. What do we want to do? Make sure, number one, nobody should become homeless.
Right.
Number two, we can help them to downsize it. Number three, there are opportunities here for you. Instead of that, they lose the home to a bank, which they're going to charge full money, pay all the expenses. They are like big sharks. Now, we can call ourselves an investor or a small shark where we can help the family, downsize it nicely, give them a second chance. 2-3 years down the road, they can come back and buy another piece of property at a wholesale price from us.
Right.
It's just like I'm helping you down the road whenever you're ready again. I'll help you to get another piece of property at a discounted price. So having said that, this opportunity is going to exist for the next 2 years. 3.1 million Canadian homeowners have to renew the mortgage before 2027. That's a huge number.
It is a huge number.
So this creates a lot of opportunity. Now, some people are utilizing the HELOC, line of credit card, and the credit card is gone way too high. Banks are saying, okay, no, we're not going to do HELOC anymore, or we can't advance you more money. Credit cards are full.
Right.
There's not a day go by that I don't get 10, 20, 30 calls where people say, I heard about you. I saw you in the Toronto Star 2 years ago, 5 years ago. I saw another family, you helped them out. Can you help me out? So what I do is I have a bunch of students, I give them this list, listen, help them out.
Mm-hmm.
Number one commitment, nobody should become homeless. Why? Because there are a lot of facilities available. If you happen to know anybody who's going to be kicked out of the house, please write it down if you would like. I'm sure we want to give the very high value. This is Ken Dunn show, by the way. Just want to remind you, Ken does not stop for average information. So number one, every city in Canada under the Municipal Act, every city have something called rent bank. If you have been laid off, you're facing foreclosure or power sale, and you don't have enough money first and last month rent, it becomes the duty of the city to provide you first and last month rent.
Nav told me about this probably 2 years ago. And when he first said this, I was freaking really skeptical about this. The fact that there's money that municipalities have that they'll give to people for rent. It blew my mind. It really did.
That's one part of it. And there are other parts of it where we can help them out, not only from downsizing, it gives them opportunity to come back. When we say downsize, we're talking about the expenses. The biggest expenses that most of the Canadians have is the mortgage payment.
Yep.
And that's horrible. On the other hand, being as an investor, you have a tenant and he lost his job. Now, what the most landlords do? Kick them out. No need for it. Go back to rent bank. Let the city help the landlord to pay you directly. And now you got a little bit more time for a tenant to either find a job or help him to downsize to a smaller apartment or something along the line.
So I want to keep track of the time of the show, but I also really want you to spend some time talking about foreclosures, because the way you process foreclosures and help people to acquire these properties, renovate them and sell them or keep them, I think it's brilliant. And I think this is one of the things there's going to be more and more of because we're at the economy right now.
Unfortunately, majority of the bankers, brokers, real estate lawyers, a lot of investors do not know that there's a very small window. If you'll be shocked to know, you only have to be 15 days behind a mortgage payment. How many days? Only 15. On the 16th day, you get a fancy notice. Pay up or get sued.
Yeah.
Whoa, pay it up and get sued. What did you do? Miss a mortgage payment. Now, private lenders don't have no mercy.
Right.
Banks might have, but again, as per Mortgage Act of Ontario, this is how it works. And after that, you have 35 to 45 days. The window start closing down very fast. And people hit the panic button. There are two things Canadians are afraid of. Number one is the taxman. Number two is any lawsuit.
Yep.
And third is the bank or mortgage payment. And they try to figure it out. And sometimes they try to borrow money, but everybody is running on a tight budget. So in that scenario, we are able to help those people say, listen, you have a window of opportunity. Now, there is another scenario to it. You will come across a lot of people who say, listen, I have lost my house. The bank have taken over. They've been sold it on MLS. Can I get my house back? Answer is yes, you can. And that is called redemption. Now, as long as the property have not changed the hands and the lender have a clause in it saying that if the homeowner can come back with all the arrears and he can put the mortgage in good standing, he can get his house back.
Yep.
Now, we have done it several times. And again, that's the second chance.
Yep.
Sometimes what happened, people got stuck, they lost their job, and 30, 60, 90 days, they got the second wind and they got the job back. Or somebody like you or I come along and say, listen, there's a lot of equity in the deal. Why don't I do this? I can come up with multiple solutions for you. You can live in the house. And what we'll do is this one, I'll help you out. I can take a fractional ownership with you, or I can come up with many, many options which are more suitable for you.
Yep.
I don't want you to lose the home to the bank. I don't want you to go through the humiliation. I don't want your children to face, what they have said, oh, boy, you lose the home, you can never live in the same city. The drama, the trauma, the nightmare, the family and children suffer is unbearable.
So let's talk about tax sales. How do tax sales work? How can somebody make money with tax sales?
Well, tax sales are great all across Canada. As a matter of fact, there are a couple of properties I was just showed to my meeting. In Halifax, these properties are maybe 115 to 300,000. You can buy for 15,000.
For $15,000?
Yeah. That's redeemable, means the owner cannot come back. Now, question is this one, what is the law across Canada? Funny law, there are a couple of lawsuits happen recently. There's a big one in Vancouver. So let's talk about Ontario. You own a piece of property, you do not own the land. You don't pay property taxes, the city is gonna take away your home.
Right.
So what happened? First year, you didn't pay property taxes. Fine. Second year, you didn't pay taxes. Third year, I'll break loose. The city have the power under the Municipal Act 2001 in the province of Ontario. The city is going to sell the property, asking the minimum bidding price is 3 years of taxes only.
Just the taxes they're owed.
Only, that's it.
And even if there's a mortgage on the property, they don't care about that.
No, if there is a mortgage, the chances are the mortgagee, the lender is going to pay back all the taxes.
Right.
Which 99% of the properties which come in the province of Ontario under tax sale, the properties are free and clear.
Right.
They may have some lien or judgment. They might have some other tons of issues. But again, most of the time, there's no mortgage.
Right now in Ontario, how many do you think of these free and clear tax sales exist?
There are quite a number of them. They keep coming back and forth. What happened as follows. Majority of the Canadians who do not have enough education, do not have things, they just go to one place. They go to auction. That's the last place you should go. These 10 different strategies
For finding the tax sale.
for finding these deals and do it before auction or even after auction. The idea is this one. You're not going to get with everybody in there. There's a big crowd.
Yep.
Hundreds of people. Everybody's bidding on it. Why don't you go in where you can have one-on-one?
So you can find the property before it's scheduled for auction, and you can negotiate a deal before it goes to auction.
Under the Municipal Act 2001, the law says the property must be advertised minimum for 4 weeks
Right.
in the local newspaper.
Right.
Okay, or on their website or many other different ways. So now you have 4 weeks window. In the meantime, you need to do your due diligence. Is this property okay? Is there any issue with it? Is it in the flood zone? Is this contaminated? Is it workable? Is that area is fully full of criminals?
Right.
You want to go there. So these things need to be done early. And one of the worst one where people get into trouble is called lien by the crown.
Lien by the crown.
Yeah. So crown means His Majesty the King, not Her Majesty the Queen. The federal, provincial, then we have Minister of Revenue from provincial and federal. Their lien will stay with it. You have to deal with it.
Okay.
Other than that, if there's other issues, soil contamination, flood, or whatever, now you're going to inherit everything.
Right.
So one is general,
So you still have to do your due diligence, even looking at the tax sale.
much, much deeper than that. Again, anytime you want to buy a piece of property, it's easy to buy one, but you should have multiple exit strategies.
Right.
Things going to go wrong with you at time.
Yep.
Things going to go haywire. And you need to have multiple options to get out in case you need to get out.
When you're talking to people about tax sales, what most often are you suggesting they do? Tell them to do tax sales to flip them and make cash, or to do tax sales to develop? What do you see most people doing?
There are very handful of people who understand it. I say majority of not well-educated people get into it and end up losing money.
So most of them that are doing it right are in your community.
Well, there are a bunch of them. I'm not the only one. There are a lot of people who are experienced, who have been doing it for a long time. They understand it. There is always a risk, 100%. There's no two ways about it.
Right. How do you mitigate the risk, though?
Well, the key is this one. If you do proper due diligence, you understand the process, you understand the law, it's much easier. It's just like now having a blinder on and trying to find the gold mine. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
The more educated you have, the more information you have. Okay, next thing will be capital. Nobody's going to finance these deals. You can have your own cash.
But you're talking about a property that could be worth 300 grand and you're paying it for 20 grand.
True. One of my students bought a piece of property in Mississauga. His property was about maybe 1.5. He did not go through the auction. He went through the back door.
Okay.
And he paid only $500,000 for it. Still $1 million profit.
Wow.
Now, his strategy is, okay, I can make $1 million now, but I have to pay capital gains. So what should I do not to pay half of my money to the taxman?
Go live in it.
Well, go live in it. Right on the dot. Again, that's kind of done, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to every single word he says. That word is worth millions and millions of dollars.
So did that guy actually go live in the house?
No, for the time being, the current owner is living down there.
Okay. He's renting it to him.
Is occupants.
Okay. Yep.
That's another word you don't want to utilize. Be very careful the moment you call somebody tenant or rent.
Right.
That is going to go into the big mess. Occupancy is totally different ballgame.
Oh, it doesn't fall under the landlord-tenant board.
Exactly.
Ah, interesting.
Once again, listen to what Ken question it.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
For valuable question.
But I don't think I've ever really paid attention to tax sales and the potential of them. So he left the current owner in there in an occupancy situation.
Yes.
And what's the eventual plan for the exit? To sell it later?
No, he did not pay all the money to her yet.
Ah, okay.
First of all, you want to get in the deal and only pay the arrears on. So she's not going to get any money until she gets out of the house.
Oh, got it.
Be in the broom clean condition.
Oh, fantastic.
So they got $500,000 on her. You need the money.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. All right, so let's talk about affordable housing. I know this is something you've been spending a lot of time kind of digging into lately. There's lots of money out there for this now.
Unfortunately, till 2035, Canada is under huge pressure to build rentals. Now, everybody's want to building rentals, But again, the question is, it's too expensive. 2-bedroom for $3,000, average family can't afford it.
Right.
So Mark Hardy decided, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hand out a lot of money to builders, developers like you, to create affordable housing. And now, recently, to the best of my knowledge, $13 billion was announced to give it to those people, non-profitable or otherwise, if you can create affordable rental. So the CMHC have a guideline. For example, in Toronto, the 1-bedroom should not go for more than $1,348.
Right.
If your rent is $1,347,
Then it's affordable. It qualifies.
and you may be able to get, again, I said very clear, you may be able to get 30% of forgivable part of the loan to you. Let's say you bought a building for $10 million and you don't have to pay $3 million back to federal. You got all $10 million from them.
Interesting.
Second thing, the mortgage will be for 10 years at the reduced rate. Okay, it'll be bond, whatever the bond rate is, plus a little bit.
Yeah.
Not something with the typical residential mortgages. It'll be a lot more affordable. Now, your commitment may be for 5 or 10 years. If you keep the building for 5 years, they're going to manage the whole thing for you. Let's say you got a 40-unit building you decided to build right here in Whitby. And again, everything's subject to availability.
But there's a government program right now that if the building qualifies, they'll forgive 30% of the loan.
Well, again, be careful, because what happened as follows. The $13 billion is given to 10 different provinces and 3 territories.
Right.
And then they give into different, let's say, regions or municipalities, and see how quickly it get taken away by other builders or developers.
Yeah. So all 13 billion isn't coming to Ontario. Is it pro rata, depending on population?
I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'll be happy to share information. You can get information from Ken Dunn, and he have the contact information for it.
Yeah, we're going to put a link in the show's notes. I trust Navtash completely, so we'll put that link in the notes for them.
It is a link of the government of Canada, by the way. It's direct link. Whatever we do, we want to provide 100% fully transparent information.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here's the $1 million question that we want to finish up with today. If you could talk to a brand new person who wanted to get into real estate investing, they didn't have a lot of capital, but they have a lot of heart, they have a lot of tenacity, they're willing to take your advice, what is the first deal that you would have them do?
First and foremost, get educated. There are a couple of things you need to understand. 52% of your money is to be taken away from you by the taxman, whether you're working or not. And the second thing, as an investor, that's a different ballgame. Your tax rate is much lower. You can write all the expenses. Now, get educated, whether it's a taxation, what you want to do with real estate. You want to come in as a wholesaler. You want to flip some deals before closing. Do you want to do some assignment? Do you want to do some fractional ownership? But again, one must learn, because there are 2 ways of learning. By making a mistake, that costs too much money. Otherwise, go to somebody like Ken Dunn, attend his trainings, attend one of my trainings alike. I don't offer training that often, but again, that training and education you invest, that's for life. If you have somebody have to pay 10, 20, 30, 40,000, that's nothing compared to spending 20 years in school and unable to find a job.
Right.
Real estate is something which is going to be there no matter what. There's going to be demand and supply. But the market is good, you make money. Market is bad, you make more money. It's just as that simple. Real estate is very lucrative business, provided you understand it. You have a good team. You have somebody like Ken to coach you. You are in good hands.
Appreciate you coming in today, man. Hey, listen, if you have thought about getting into real estate investing, if you know friends, you know people that do it, and you're wondering how to get started, follow the guy's link in the notes. Talk to Nav. He'll take care of you. We'll see you on the next episode of the No Money Real Estate Podcast.